What compensation package will attract the best Filipino accountants? So you've decided you want to hire someone in the Philippines, but you just don't know what to put in the offer. What are the benefits? All of that stuff. That's what we're talking about today. My name is Isaac Smith. I'm the founder of TeamUp, where we help accountants hire top-tier Filipino accounting staff without any ongoing BPO fees. Now, before we get into the topic today, there's something that I want to mention. We're talking about the numbers, the salary, the benefits, and all of that, but there's something that you should think about before getting into that. And that is, why would anybody want to work with you or your firm? What's it like working there? What is your culture? How can you sell working with your company beyond just the financial benefits? Because quite frankly, if either you or your prospective teammate thinks of working together as just a transaction, in the long run, it's probably not going to work out the best. So before getting into all of this, think about your culture, the long-term opportunities, the potential for growth, and all of that. All right, now we're going to get into today's topic. And that is the salary, the benefits, and the bonuses of that compensation package. Starting with the salary. Of course, in a video like this, I can't tell you exactly what salary you should advertise, right? That's going to depend on a lot of factors. I don't even know what the role is that you're hiring for at the moment. But the other factor is it's in flux. It's a very dynamic market right now. And there are a lot of people like you who are searching for candidates in the Philippines. And so that salary, those numbers are changing month to month. And so that's why it's important to work with a recruiter who understands the job market. Now, as far as the compensation package, what else could you put in there in terms of the salary? If you can note that you have an annual or a biannual salary increase based on how they're doing, of course, that's attractive. So you might consider putting that in. Let's talk about the benefits. Now, here's where it might get a little bit tricky because your next question will probably be, well, am I hiring this person as an employee or a contractor? And won't that impact what we're talking about? The short answer is yes. And I have another video on that topic specifically, whether you should hire someone as an employee or a contractor. So see that video for more details. But we'll go through this video assuming you're paying some sort of benefits. An employee, someone who is employed in the Philippines, will have, of course, government benefits and tax withholdings. And so let's just briefly run through these. And I'll talk about what you might consider if you're hiring someone as a contractor instead. So, of course, there's income tax. They have something that is similar to our Social Security. They have something called pag-ibig, which is like a mortgage credit that they pay into over time. And then later, if they want to buy a house, they can use that. They have their national health insurance called PhilHealth. Now, here's where we might want to get a little bit into this. This national health insurance covers hospitalizations only. So does not cover doctor visits, no dental. So the vast majority of the time you're not going to the hospital and maybe you want some medical service. That is not covered under the PhilHealth plan. So these things are all these things that I've just mentioned, the income tax withholdings, the Social Security, pag-ibig, PhilHealth, those are all regulated benefits. Income tax may not be a benefit, but you get the point, right? So if you're hiring someone as an employee, these things will have to happen. If you're hiring someone as a contractor, they are in charge of making sure that they pay into these systems. Now, one thing you can do to make your offer more attractive is to compensate them for these things. And so, yeah, you can get into the exact details. You know, there are spreadsheets and charts you can pull up to figure out exactly how much each of these should be. But if you offer, I think it's a good one, offer to help them pay into these things, that's very attractive. Now, I mentioned, let's talk a little bit more about the health insurance. Again, PhilHealth is important, but it's honestly not the best. And if you can help them get a better insurance, a private insurance, that will go a long way. So let's talk about that for just a moment. You can offer a private health insurance or HMO. Now, you could do it through your company if you wanted to, if they're being hired as employees, or you can just add a cash incentive, right, that you're going to help them pay into it, right? They're going to go out and get this insurance, but you're going to pay for it, right? That's an option. So what might that mean? Well, of course, you can imagine there are doctor clinics, dental clinics, vision, right? There are all these things that most people have to pay out of pocket for if they don't have insurance. So in addition to that, there are also public versus private hospitals. So there are public hospitals, and that's where most people go. And as you can imagine, you can get better service in a private hospital or a private clinic. But of course, those are much, much more expensive for people paying out of pocket. But if they have private health insurance, it makes it much more affordable. So you can help them get access to this better care. And that, I can guarantee you, will go a very long way in attracting great candidates. Let's talk about bonuses. So that's benefits. Now let's get into bonuses. Now, there's no right or wrong answer here. There's just what's going to work for you and what's going to be enticing for the candidates. If you think you'll be giving out bonuses throughout the year, you can think about how that might work. So performance-based incentives, of course, are great, and they work as you might imagine. Now, remember, you don't only want working with your company to be a transaction. So there should be other things involved in your culture, right? Maybe you recognize people in other ways. But again, for this video, we're talking about those bonuses. So if you can have quarterly reviews with a performance bonus, or maybe biannual reviews, right? Those are good things. There are other things that you can do. And we're going to talk about allowances or reimbursements. Now, this is where you're going to find the widest possible variety in things that you see people doing. Some people will give a work from home allowance, and that helps with like paying for the internet, paying for a good place to sit, right? If they just have a crappy chair, maybe you help buy them a nicer chair. I do know that some people offer to buy air conditioning so that you're more comfortable and more productive while you work, right? These types of things. If you can help with any of those, if you can do other things that I haven't even thought of, those are very nice, and people are very happy to receive them. Again, it doesn't have to be entirely structured. It could also be needs-based, because not all of your teammates are going to have the exact same situations at home, right? So, what you actually put in the job offer in this area is up to you. Now, of course, there are other things that you can do. You can have convertible leave credits, right? So if you're going to have paid time off, you're probably going to have a certain number of days off, right? At the end of the year, some people like to have that available to convert to cash if they're not going to take those days off. Is that what you want to do? Is that right for your firm? I'll let you be the one to decide that. Now, let's talk about the 13th month. This is maybe something that you're aware of, maybe not. I have another video that goes into all of the details of what it is and how it works, but I'll just briefly mention it here. So the 13th month is a regulated bonus that all employers have to pay to employees in the Philippines. It's required, it's not optional. And it's at the end of the year, it's equal to 1 month's pay. And that's why it's called the 13th month. Now, if you're hiring someone as a contractor, again, the other video will go into this, but you might be wondering, well, do I need to pay that? Let me just give you the TLDR on that. You probably don't actually have to, but you should. If you want more details, go see that video. If you don't, they're not gonna think that they're valued. They're not gonna feel valued. Now, because that 13th month is an end of year bonus, you might think of that as the Christmas bonus, but it's actually not. It's required. And yes, of course they love getting it, but it's not at your discretion, and it's not, oh, thank you, boss. It's not a gift from you to them. So if you would like, you can also give them separate gifts, a different Christmas bonus, other types of retention bonuses. You can do other things, but those would be in addition to the 13th month. Cool? All right. I hope this has been helpful. At TeamUp, we recruit top-tier Filipino accountant for accounting firms for a flat fee. Because we're a recruiting agency, we're not a BPO, we have no ongoing fees at all. And if you need help with payroll or compliance, we can connect you with an employer of record who can help out in those areas. If you want to learn more about bonuses or structures or anything at all about hiring in the Philippines, we have a lot of information on our website. That's hireteamup.com. See the link below and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We're always happy to help. Thanks.